today are made from wood from an Aleppo pine tree, a city tree from Sherman Oaks, California, that had to be removed, and it was milled into usable lumber. The stainless steel discs were actually provided to us from Metropolitan's machine shop from some leftover materials. And the ceramic water drop was provided to us by a local ceramic artist. Excuse me. Great to be able to drink from some high quality tap water. We are celebrating Tap Water Day today as well, and so want to encourage you whenever you can to take your refillable bottles with you and find your local filling stations. Tap water is safe, it's less expensive than bottled water, better for the environment. If you need more information, find one of our Metropolitan staff and we can definitely give you more information about that and provide you with some resources. So let's go ahead and get on with the program. First up, we are really pleased to have our general manager, Adel Haj Khalil, joining us virtually. So we're going to bring him up to start off the program. We ready to go?
Can you hear me, Gary?
Yes, we can.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Gary, and good afternoon, everyone. Great to be with you. Thank you all for joining Metropolitan today as we kick off Water Awareness Month and host this special event. Although I can't be with you personally, as Gary mentioned, I wanted to be here with you virtually, and thank you. I want to thank the many innovative water leaders who are pioneering innovative water conservation practices across Southern California. Congratulations to the awardees and our member agencies that they represent, and also to acknowledge the board members who are present here today. Today, we celebrate the remarkable water-saving achievements of your businesses and organizations. These achievements are transformative and are resulting in long-term, substantial, and sustainable change for your communities and our future. I'm a firm believer in the power of partnership and collaboration, and the people and the ideas behind them. Today's awards demonstrate that working together towards a common goal, reducing our water use, leads to real-world solutions that benefit millions. And I know the chair, Adan Ortega, always reminds us, and we've had a discussion during the budget process, that because of the work of conservation, the efforts that we have done, out of the 3.4 million acre feet of conservation that we have in our system right now, or actually storage in the system, over 2 million acre feet is a result of conservation. So it's showing up in results. And we are taking that water and hopefully through the budget process, committed to monetizing some of it to pay for conservation. And today you are showing off and showing the innovation and the great work you are doing. Many of you know our water sources here in Southern California are being challenged like never before. Climate change is here with us, and we are facing many of these challenges. We are dealing with a new reality, a new normal, where weather patterns are becoming increasingly unpredictable, and we call it climate whiplash. We're seeing hotter and drier days. We're seeing wet years, and these winter storms that we're seeing this year is helping us store and put water away, but we cannot take the foot off the pedal in conservation. The board has committed to continuing conservation as a way of life, and through your efforts and the efforts of businesses and communities across Southern California, we are doing that. We know that the next drought is around the corner, and that's why conservation is so imperative. Through the efforts of the board and the member agencies, we are taking on a great effort where we're adapting to the climate change through our planning process called Climate Adaptation Master Planning. We're excited about the work we're doing. And this effort, the efficiencies that you're doing, conservation is an integral part of this effort. Metropolitan has invested over $1 billion since 1990. The water we're using today is the same as it was 50 years ago. And that's because of the work we're doing. But we have a lot of work ahead of us. We need to continue doing it. We're looking for ways to reach out to underserved communities, disadvantaged communities, to ensure that we are working together. And hopefully, with the funding we receive from the Bureau of Reclamation under the Inflation Reduction Act, we'll be able to continue helping everyone, ensuring everyone is accessing the efforts in conservation and protecting water supply. Metropolitan's water saving incentive program meets the customers where they are, with incentives tailored to individual water saving project needs. And we will hear about these impressive water saving approaches today. Today's awards celebrate you, the change makers paving the way towards a more sustainable and resilient future, a future where conservation is a way of life. We look forward to continuing to work with all of you to achieve these goals and find new ways to secure reliable water supply for everyone with no one left behind. It gives me now the great honor and privilege to welcome to the stage the chair of the board, Adan Ortega, who has been leading the way in ensuring that no one is left behind, bringing everyone together as we adapt to this climate change and bringing us all into the future for the next 100 years, as we call it, the next Mulholland moment. Adan Ortega, thank you.
Thank you, Adel. I want to thank our great general manager, Adel Hadji Khalil, for pretty much being the embodiment of One Water. He carries it on his lapel. He carries it in every one of his speeches. I also want to make sure I recognize our directors that are here, celebrating those of you from their member agencies that have helped us accomplish so much this year through your innovations. And that includes Director Desi Alvarez from West Basin Municipal Water District, my Vice Chair Gail Goldberg from the San Diego County Water Authority, Miguel Luna from the City of Los Angeles, and Director Brenda Denstadt, who comes from Western Water or Western Municipal Water District. Thank you for being here. I also want to recognize our leader in organizing this event on our day-to-day. He's the person who makes sure that everything's in order. Gary Tilkin has been a longtime colleague of mine, and congratulations on another successful event, and thank you for all you've done. Also, here is the founder of this program, somebody who retired just recently, who's never too far from us, and us remembering our dedication, building on his shoulders what he set for us, Bill McDonald. Thank you, Bill, for being here today. This event comes at a time when, despite our good conditions recently with rain and snowpack in California, Metropolitan and our member agencies are nonetheless under enormous pressure to reduce our reliance on our imported sources, both the Colorado River and the Bay Delta. For those of you we are honoring today, I want you to know that you're a big part of our arsenal in adapting to climate change, given the situation and solutions I'm about to describe. On the Colorado River, the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation expects us to produce almost real-time results showing in the form of higher lake elevation levels at Lake Mead. In the current water year, our water conservation efforts have allowed us to contribute 450,000 acre-feet to improve elevation levels at Lake Mead. Last year, we helped with over 650,000 acre-feet, which has helped to keep Hoover Dam power generators running. I want to point out that the water conservation projects we are recognizing today are part of a new class of programs that are becoming the cornerstone in our planning for the next drought and for our adaptation efforts with climate change. In other words, it's not like the old days when we only did conservation for periods of drought when we were running out of water. As Adel Haji Khalil just stated, conservation is how we are increasing the amounts of water we are storing for the future. In the past, conservation meant lost sales. As our general manager just noted, for the first time in our current 2-year budget that the board just approved, water stored through conservation is actually helping pay for future conservation. A former colleague at Metropolitan who I worked with in the early 2000s would often challenge me to quantify the return on investment from conservation. It has taken me 24 years to answer her question outside of the abstract, but here it is. The return on investment in conservation and local projects has resulted in 2.4 million acre feet of water that's currently in storage, out of the 3.4 million acre feet that we have in our various reservoir and groundwater storage accounts. Its worth, its value, just as a commodity, is about $3 billion. This comes at a good, this comes at a good time because climate change is challenging us and our water systems even sooner than our modeling projected. We must act now to adapt to make smart, effective investments in new water supply strategies, storage, and ways to move water around our system. The test of our time is whether the financial challenges and measure of regional unity across Southern California among our member agencies and our residents with the changed climate, will it either strengthen us or leave each community on its own? Those are the stakes. Previous generations that came to California had to pass this test too. We're not the first. In the early 1900s through the 1970s, 2 generations of leaders brought water to areas of California where there were no rivers that could sustain growth. Think of the coastal zone of Southern California and areas that grow our food from Fresno to El Centro in the Imperial Valley. Aqueducts met the needs for people who came from faraway places that had been fed by rivers. Through their innovations in California, these previous generations established the world's breadbasket and centers of innovation bar none and progress in California's great cities and urban centers. One might ask, what is the task of our generation in assuring resiliency for the next 100 years? Just like the last generations had to build Hoover Dam to make the Colorado River Aqueduct possible, and later Shasta and Oroville for our supplies from Northern California, what is the foundational task to meet future water needs? With climate change, humanity as a whole has been forced to admit that nature has the final word and that we have to learn to listen to it better. And that is the first step to adaptation. We have learned that the only certainty that nature offers us now is uncertainty. So how do we tackle permanent uncertainty? One water is not just a slogan. It is a means. You are the practitioners of One Water. But let me please be the first to suggest what your efforts add up to through the projects you have built. What you are building, I messed up my line. It's not going to come out like I thought. So please let me be the first to suggest that your efforts through the projects you have built are the foundation of a new and endless river. You are the winter and the spring that feed this river, that with care should flow forever and ever. One water for a new era through an endless river you are building for Southern California. Thank you for helping us build, for believing in One Water, and helping us build this endless river that should last for at least 100 years. Thank you very much, and congratulations to all of you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chairman Ortega. So we're going to start bringing up the honorees. The way this is going to work, I'll invite one of our directors to come up, and they will make a few remarks about the honorees, and then we will present a short video. After the video, we'd love to have you come up. I'll present you with your award, and we'll take a picture or two and move on to the next. All right, so we're going to start things off with Director Miguel Angel Luna, and he will introduce the first honoree.
They gave you a minute there.
You're more important.
Civilizations have been a permanent dialogue between human beings and water. That's not mine, that's Paulo Lugari's. And I just wanted to pick it up from this conversation around dialogue that the chair brought up. And we all find ways to enter into that dialogue with water. While golf could certainly seem to be recreational, as a golfer myself, I can tell you that it becomes very competitive right after you get into the sport and who you play with. El Caballero Country Club, in partnership, in collaboration with Southern California Golf Association and with some assistance to the incentive program of Metropolitan Water District, looked to enter into this dialogue about maximizing water efficiency on their fields. And they did that by replacing the course's cool season turf grass with a drought-tolerant warm season hybrid Bermuda grass. And if you're a golfer, you know this, and if you're not, let me tell you that what makes a good course is the playability of it. And certainly it has to be challenging, but it also has to allow for players of all levels of their skill to participate in it, and that it's accessible to all. It's fascinating to learn that El Caballero conserved 28 million gallons of water just in 2023 alone, a third of their yearly water use, and they still maintained their high caliber playability of the golf course. Along with that, they also incorporated high efficiency irrigation equipment, low water use, California friendly plants that blended in the style, in the location and geography of where the golf course is located. Their commitment to equity and environmental stewardship really has positioned this golf course to withstand, as Chair Dan was saying, our current situation, but our future drought challenges, while still enhancing and providing a good playing environment for their membership. And I just want to add that, when it comes to conservation dollars, I think it's important that we invest in all social brackets. And very important to me is to ensure that affluent communities where there's the bigger bank to change those landscapes into drought-tolerant ones see such an example in a place where they congregate and they see often. That if they see themselves amongst in a place that has changed that, they don't just see it as acceptable, they see it as a model. So El Caballero has done that, and I want to invite up the club general manager and chief operating officer to accept this award. Please help me welcome Phil Lopez to the podium. Oh, I screwed it up. Hold on, wait a minute. Phil is worthy of him coming up here, but there was nobody signaling the video. To show an example of what has been done and what they've done, let's please cue up the 4-minute video, and then we'll bring up Phil to accept the award. Yeah, almost Phil, double introduction.
El Caballero Country Club was established in 1957. It was actually founded on the principle of non-discrimination. My name is Phil Lopez, and El Caballero Country Club was established in 1957. It was actually founded on the principle of non-discrimination. My name is Phil Lopez, and I am the General Manager and Chief Operating Officer at El Caballero Country Club in Tarzana, California. I've been at the club since 2017, and we really started a conversation at that time about sustainability of what we were doing from a golf course water usage standpoint. What we were doing in the previous years of overseeding the course in the winter and dealing with a transition into the summer, into warm season grasses that we had sort of had for many, many decades, and then redoing that again every fall, it was too expensive, and our course conditions and product we were delivering was subpar. We established two very simple goals, and it was about sustainability and playability. And we really discovered that there's really a better way to do this. And that better way was a conversion to hybrid Bermuda and a much more drought-tolerant turf grass that would produce great sustainability, but also great playability. It's kind of a win-win for everybody in that regard.
Recognizing the need for a more sustainable approach, El Caballero embarked on a journey to reduce water consumption, improve course conditions, and build resiliency against future droughts and water restrictions.
We did our own research and due diligence, and then we tried to employ as many good professional people to help us. Dr. Jim Baird at UC Riverside was really helpful to us. It was one thing for me to stand in front of the membership and say we were going to save all this money and we were going to save all this water. It was another thing for the preeminent turf research specialist on the entire West Coast to show up at our club and tell the membership that what we were saying was true. So he was fantastic for that. We really wanted to make sure that we took advantage of the programs that are available to help businesses make these kind of changes to reduce water usage. So the incentive that the Metropolitan WISP program gave us was critical to what we considered and what the membership considered.
Through extensive outreach and education, El Caballero secured a 68% member approval rate for the ambitious project, which involved closing the course for 9 months.
Since we reopened in November of 21, the feedback has been amazing. The golf course has turned out to be sort of everything we wanted it to be. The turf conditions are excellent, and they're excellent year-round, and our water usage is way, way down. We're using it much less in the heat of the summer, which is really the critical time. And we use 20 to 25% less water from one summer to the next, to the tune of about 12 or 13 million gallons less of water to produce a significantly better product.
Beyond water savings, the project has enhanced the overall member experience with a cohesive California ranch look and feel. The success has positioned El Caballero as a leader in sustainable golf course management.
The look and feel of the golf course is exponentially better now than it was before. I think our experience can show other golf courses that there is a way for golf courses to be really good environmental stewards. Golf courses have historically used a lot of water, and there really is a better way to find a turf product and a turf grass that will use a lot less water than maybe what you're doing now. The reality is the benefit from a sustainability standpoint and from a good steward of water far outweighs what may be some downtime and some costs.
El Caballero Country Club, where sustainability drives excellence.
founder and COO of the Caballero, Phil Lopez.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. I wanted to make, I have a little quick speech I'm going to do here, but I did want to make one quick point to the director's comment he made a minute ago about the investing across all social classes. I just wanted to tell you one thing I neglected to share with you earlier. Through this process that we did over the last year and a half, I've probably had 24 members of the club ask me, how do I get that grass? And how do I change it at my house? Because they've struggled for years with their fescues and their whatever, and they've used a ton of water over the years trying to maintain their homes. And now they want what we did. And that will only help us to achieve the goals that we're all trying to achieve. So I just want to make sure I made that point. First and foremost, I want to thank my wife for being here today. She doesn't often get to see me in this kind of setting. So, honey, thank you for being here. On behalf of the members and the team at El Caballero, I am honored to be here and to accept this award. And congratulations to all the other award winners today. Kudos to all of you for the great work that you have all done. As the video said, El Cab was founded on the principle of non-discrimination. No one would ever be excluded from our club based on race, religion, gender, etc. That was a novel concept in 1950s Los Angeles. But the club was also founded on another important principle, and that was philanthropy. To this day, it is still a major part of our philosophy and our charter. One must demonstrate through their volunteer work and donations that they have been a charitably inclined person to become a member at El Caballero. The reason I share that with you today is we are an organization full of families that care and do for others. And in the context of today, that is caring and doing the right thing for our community and for our city. Water is a significant, thank you. Water is a significant and critical issue in our region. We all know that. And as a golf course, it is certainly critical to our success and sustainability. It is from that perspective that the members of El Caballero Country Club approved and supported this project. We shared at length with our membership the importance of being a good steward of such an important natural resource, and that making this investment would dramatically reduce our water usage and allow us to survive the next drought. And as the video showed you, we are saving tens of millions of gallons of water each year now, and we've improved our golf course conditions dramatically. It is truly the definition of a win-win. Thank you to the Metropolitan Water District and the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power for supporting forward-thinking programs like this, and to always being willing to work with the golf community to find solutions that accomplish the most important goal that we all have in this room, and that's using less water and improving our community. Thank you very much.
All right. Now that we kind of know how we're doing this. So next I'd like to invite up Director Gail Goldberg to give a few words about our next project. It's okay, just leave it right here. I'll fix it.
First of all, I want to say, as a director of Metropolitan, there are so many things we are expected to do, but nothing is more fun or more satisfying than joining in this kind of a celebration for our partners in conservation. And it is particularly fun for me today to be able to present to our San Diego County recipient.
Perfect.
Thank you. Okay. Is the microphone okay? Thank you. Hamishaw Park HOA, a 64-home community in El Cajon, California, is undergoing a remarkable transformation. The HOA, together with the County of San Diego, the Metropolitan Water District, and the San Diego County Water Authority, has already replaced 58,000 square feet of grass with climate-appropriate plants and sustainable landscaping features. This landscape transformation has reduced outdoor water use and beautified community spaces, making them accessible to all residents. Walkways lined with vibrant California-friendly plants provide a sense of connection to nature. And young and old alike who live there now immerse themselves in local habitat right outside their front door. The transformation was such a success that the HOA plans now to replace a total of 100,000 square feet of turf, potentially saving more than 4 million gallons of water annually. The project demonstrates the power of partnerships. From the HOA board to professional landscapers to the residents themselves, everyone came together with one common goal: to enhance community pride and belonging in a sustainable and cost-effective way. Let's take a look at the incredible people behind the Hamashaw Park HOA landscaping project and the sustainable approaches that made these water savings possible.
Hamashaw Park has 64 homes. We originally had about 8 acres of turf, and we've been slowly whittling away at that so that it's less turf to maintain. I'm Mary Kay Siekman. I'm board president of Hamashaw Park Homeowners Association. I've lived in our community for 40 years.
Hamashaw Park's 1970s landscape had over 340,000 square feet of turf, leading to high water bills and high maintenance costs.
There's so many challenges with having that much turf, and you need to maintain the turf so it looks decent, because when people look out, they want to see beauty. The idea for turf removal came because we were saying, if more programs came up, because we're always in and out of droughts in the state of California, what areas would we remove grass in? We learned about these programs through our property management company. And when the board members heard about it, they jumped at it. They were very excited because it would be a step forward to a long time goal we knew needed to be done.
Hamashaw Park received turnkey service, including plant selection, rebate support, and project management through the County of San Diego. Additional support came from environmental incentives and Monarch Environmental, with design help from MSE Landscape.
It's going to have plants with colorful foliage or flowers. You'll see hummingbirds, and we have butterflies, and it'll be a nice place for families to enjoy it and see all the wildlife and the beauty.
The 3-phase renovation will eventually replace over 100,000 square feet of turf with climate-appropriate plants, high-efficiency irrigation, and stormwater capture features.
I hope the project that we have done will show other communities what is possible. There is a way to get toward water savings and still have a beautiful landscape that everyone can enjoy.
The new landscape is helping to improve local water quality and support healthy ecosystems that benefit the broader El Cajon community and the San Diego Bay watershed, which is home to approximately 1/3 of San Diego County residents.
We have partners with Metropolitan Water District, our local water district, OTI, with the County of San Diego, the County Water Authority. We have accomplished something with the help of all these agencies. It shows to the community that you can save water and still have a beautiful landscape. You don't have to rely on grass for everything.
Metropolitan Water District is proud to collaborate with homeowners associations building resilient, water-wise communities, one landscape at a time.
This is another wonderful example of partnerships. We are honored today to welcome Scott Norris, Land Use Planning Manager at the County of San Diego, to accept this One Water Award on behalf of the Hamishaw Park Homeowners Association. From one planner to another, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Did we take pictures first?
Planners.
I'll bring this over here. Perfect. Awesome work.
Yep, right there. That's good. Perfect. All right. 1, 2, and 3. One more. 1, 2, and 3.
Thank you. Well, I just want to say thank you very much. It's an honor to be here on behalf of the Hamishaw Park HOA. Again, I'm Scott Norris with the County of San Diego. I'm a land use planning manager in our stormwater department. So why does the stormwater department care about water conservation? Because water conservation, and you heard it in the video, directly translates to water quality improvements. And we have a lot of money to spend to improve water quality. And the way that we've been able to do that most efficiently is by piggybacking on the programs that you guys have been running for years. We started the Waterscape Rebate Program with the idea of, you guys already have programs that work. Let's see how we can enhance those by removing barriers to participation. One of the key ways we've done that is through customer service. So with our partners like MSE and Monarch and Environmental Incentives, we go to the HOAs, we go to the homeowners, and we help them through the rebate process. And as you've heard, sometimes that's all they need is just a little kickstart, and now they're doing it on their own, right? Our project was only 23,000 square feet. Now they're going to do 100,000 square feet. And that's not the first place we've seen this. We've done this in 13 HOAs so far, and I believe almost half of them are coming back for more rebates, which is great. I just want to say a huge thank you, though, to all of our partners. Otay Water District, San Diego County Water Authority, Metropolitan Water District, for letting us kind of come play in your sandbox. We love water conservation, we're all about it, but we're primarily about water quality and really supporting the one water concept. And so if you need partnerships or you need additional funding, I'd go talk to your local watershed or stormwater jurisdiction. Because once you explain to them the benefits of conserving water and what that means for water quality, they'll be anxious to be able to partner with you on that. I just want to say thank you again very much. And just to let you know a little preview of what's coming, we hope to have a future program where we'll be doing direct installations specifically for underserved communities in the San Diego area, so that those HOAs that might not have historically been able to participate in the program by contributing that upfront funding will actually be able to move forward. And we think that's a huge part of environmental sustainability and justice.
Okay. And so one more note, if you could leave the microphone here. Our AV guys have a little one set up there here. So want to try not to disturb that. Okay, let's move on to our next. And I'd like to call up Director Desi Alvarez to describe the next project.
Well, good afternoon, and it's a pleasure to be up here. We have a lot of wonderful projects that we're honoring today, and I'm especially pleased to introduce California State University Dominguez Hill in Carson, which has been a leader in recycling water for a long time. Their program started back in 2006 when they teamed up with West Basin Municipal Water District. So they have a long-term commitment to preparing future water leaders with the tools and knowledge needed to address environmental challenges. And it's proof today that great things happen when an institution provides a great platform for research and education. Due to this commitment, Cal State Dominguez Hills engineering students were able to design and develop a heating and ventilation and conditioning condensate recovery project that captures and reuses water previously flushed down the sewer. The condensate recovery system installed by Cal State Dominguez Hills Sustainability Office and the Central Plan team through MWD's Water Savings Incentive Program collects HVAC condensate from buildings across the campus and redirects that water for use in the university cooling system. Not only reducing the amount of water going into our sewer system, but actually putting it to beneficial use and reducing the need for other water. The project has become a great asset to the students, the university, and the community. The director of the Central Plant Operations holds routine tours of the new HVAC condensate system where not only students but members of the communities, organizations, and corporations learn more about water conservation, why condensate and any spare water on a campus is important to reuse, and how cooling towers work. The campus, as a result of this project, saves about 80,000 gallons of water annually, and the project is a living educational lab for the community. They have many projects, and I think the latest one that they just started, in addition to the one they're being awarded today, is a turf removal program. They have just enrolled in MWD's turf replacement program and are about to begin the removal of 166,000 square feet of turf, which is the next big challenge in conservation. The more turf that we can remove, the more water we're going to be able to save. And that's the biggest next chop at saving water that we have in Southern California. With that, let's learn a little bit more about the condensate recovery system.
Cal State Dominguez Hills is located in the city of Carson. We produce a lot of teachers, social workers, business majors. The people that we do teach really need that. My name is Kenny Seaton. I am the Director of Central Plant Operations and Strategic Energy Projects for Cal State University Dominguez Hills. I think sustainability has a role in everything, right? It's being implemented into the classroom, into the curriculum. Students, they care, right? And they want to do the right thing. And so as the campus, we need to do the right thing also to set that example and to give them living lab lessons, right? Which is kind of how this project came about.
With a campus serving over 14,000 students, 80% of which are considered underserved, the university understands the value of sustainability and pursues innovative ways to reduce its water footprint.
I heard about the Metropolitan rebate program through my sustainability director. When we heard about it, actually increased the excitement at the campus, right? It was, we can do this great project and we can get some money back. It seemed like a good thing to do. The campus has extensive HVAC systems, but when we're cooling the spaces off, what we're really doing is taking the heat away from the space. We take that heat, we go run it through the cooling tower, and the heat basically evaporates off into the air. But what people don't really understand is that that evaporation process is not just the heat, but it's a lot of water. It's water to the tune of 10,000 gallons every single day. The system that we used to collect the condensate was called drip cycle. It's basically just a small pump that pumps water from the air handlers down through the tunnel system to the next tank and keeps going farther. How cool would it be to be able to walk down the tunnel and see this water that we're capturing, this 80,000 gallons of water, running it all the way to the cooling tower?
By sharing this project through tours and firsthand learning, Cal State Dominguez Hills is amplifying the message of water and energy stewardship far beyond the
Before we implemented drip cycle into all of our buildings, that water would just shoot out of the air handlers, basically, right? The air was blowing through the coil, it dried out the air, the water went down into a drain and just went straight down the drain. Now we're capturing that and bringing it back and putting it to a useful space instead of out to the stormwater. Previous to installing the drip cycle, twice a year we had to have the plumbing department down snaking out And the system's been online for, 2.5 years, and we've never had the plumbers down since that. Metropolitan Water helped with this project. They helped us to keep us focused so that at the end, we were able to come up with this 80,000 gallon a year savings. It was a good project because of the partnership.
By connecting with Metropolitan Water District and leveraging their incentives, the university turned a concept into a reality. Cal State Dominguez Hills, where education and water conservation flow together.
All right, and with that, if you'll join me in welcoming Kenny Seaton, Director of Central Plant Operations, to accept this One Water Award. You want to do pictures first? Okay.
So thank you for having me. I want to thank my team because, as all of us leaders know, we can't do this alone. I wasn't the one hooking up the pipes. My team was the ones hooking up the pipes and running it through a 1/4 mile of tunnel to get it all the way back to the cooling tower. Also, water touches everything, right? Who would have thought that the heating load on a building would use so much water? Our campus, I'm going to use real broad average numbers here. Let's say we use 6 million gallons of water a year, potable water. More than 3 million of that is evaporating through the cooling towers. And so by being more efficient on the energy side, we're also being more efficient on the water side. By thinking about it all holistically, then we all win. Again, we're a disadvantaged community campus. Most of all of our students, they don't have a clue what this stuff is all about. And so by creating this into the living lab area so that we can walk down the tunnels and look, there's clear PVC pipe, and you see the water that runs through that? That's all the water. That's the same water that's on the outside of your drinking glass, right? Only a lot more of it. And so I'm always, every time I give a tour, some of them are just doing it for a grade, but there's some that, the light bulb goes off and then they're going to go down that road and do something new. And so as we do these projects, it's really important that we share it with everybody we can, because you don't know who's going to get the idea that make that better. Thank you for having me.
All right, we're in the home stretch. We have one more project to talk about today. And to talk about that, I'm going to invite up Director Brenda Denstead.
Okay, I got the memo. Don't touch the mic. Got it. I will try to stand away from the mic because I'm sure that you can probably still hear me and not be blocked by my face with the mic here. It is certainly a thrill for me to be here today. I was honored to learn that a friend of mine, Jim Hessler, who I serve on OWOW, which is One Water, One Watershed Committee with SAPA, was going to be honored today as part of Altman Plants. And, we've worked together and sat on this committee for quite some time, and I so appreciate his perspective and collaboration that we've experienced over the years. As far as his collaboration with Western Municipal Water District, they've been big partners of ours. We've had the pleasure of collaborating on sustainability for years, and they have been such willing partners to come to the table and work with us to find solutions. And we're so honored that we are invited here today to present this award to Altman Plants for everything that they've done. Altman Plants is the largest U.S. horticulture grower embarked on this journey and to recycle 100% of their irrigation runoff at the Lake Matthews Nursery. Today, the site's water reuse system is revolutionizing sustainable water management. And I'm sure Jim is going to tell you a lot more about that. And the video is probably going to do a really good job of explaining all of the things that they've embarked on to make all of that possible. The system is partnered by the Clean Water 3 and UC Davis, along with Metropolitan and Western, that funded and helped provide funding to make all of this possible. And together, the infrastructure and the upgrades, like high efficiency sprinklers and smart controllers, the system has 80% water reuse rate and saves 180 million gallons of water annually. That is no small feat. You know, we've heard the use of the word sustainability, and that certainly embodies everything that they are doing. And we certainly are really excited for them and hope that it continues forward and they share and everybody buys into exactly what they have been leaders in the industry to do. So I would invite everyone to watch the video to learn more.
Altman Plants is a large wholesale grower of garden plants, and we provide those plants to the major retailers, not just in California, but throughout the country. I'm Jim Hessler, Director of West Coast Operations for Altman Plants. Water is an absolutely essential part of our operation. We cannot grow plants without water.
Altman Plants sought an innovative approach to solve large-scale agricultural water conservation, aligning with their commitment to sustainability.
The Water Recycling, Water Reuse Project was a collaborative effort working with Clean Water 3, UC Davis, Metropolitan Water District, Western Municipal Water District, as well as our own internal resources to develop a system where we could recycle and reuse clean water to reduce our water footprint and do it in a way that is sustainable. The water recycling and water reuse depends upon being able to clean the water to a fairly high level so that we can use it for producing our plants. And so to do that, we run the water through 3 different vegetated wetlands. And those are areas where we slow the water down. It goes through vegetation, which pulls nutrient salts out of the water and cleans the water. We also run it through about half a mile of canna boxes. Cannas are the real workhorse of the system in terms of their ability to pull nitrates and other salts out of the water. We also use barley hay to control the algae in the water. We use goldfish to control the duckweed. So the end result is the water quality is comparable to our purchased water, and it allows us to grow a tremendous quality crop. Our water savings have been very, very significant. We recapture and we reuse about 80% of the runoff, and that ends up accounting for about 50% of our total water use. So the difference is the water that's actually being used by the plants themselves. We have been recycling and reusing about 180 million gallons of water per year. On a very warm summer day, it could be as much as 1 million gallons on those warmest days. The entire team at the nursery is extremely proud of our water recycling efforts and our overall sustainability efforts. The key thing I hope others will learn from this is that it's absolutely possible. You can save a significant amount of water. The water can be reused. It can be cleaned in a sustainable way. This is all possible.
Altman Plants is one of the largest and most successful projects in the history of the Water Savings Incentive Program.
Our water recycling and reuse project has allowed us to save 180 million gallons of water a year. And the assistance from Metropolitan Water District, from Western Municipal Water District was absolutely key to making the project happen. It was an expensive project, it was a major project, and they were able to provide about half the funding to make the project a reality.
Altman Plants, cultivating a greener world through water stewardship and innovation.
Maybe many of you saw that on the video. Maybe you guys have those plants at your house and in your landscape. So please welcome Jim Hessler, Director of West Coast Operations.
All right. Thank you. can't express how much we appreciate the support from Metropolitan Water District, from Western Water, that made this project a reality. You know, as a company, we take our responsibility for environmental stewardship very, very seriously. It's truly part of our DNA. And I'm very fortunate to be able to work in a company and to be able to work with a group of people who are absolutely passionate about sustainability. And when you're able to combine that passion with support from Metropolitan Water, from Western Water, and also combine it with the resources that we've been able to connect from the academic sector, absolutely anything is possible. And you know, it's very exciting to be in a place where every day people are committed to what actions can we take today that's going to make our world a little bit better for tomorrow. And that's truly at the core of Altman Plants. So thank you very much.
All right, one more. 1, 2, and 3. Got it.
All right, we're near the end, but before that, I'd just like all of us to give a round of applause to all of these projects. Great projects. And thank you for those of you who are intimately involved in those projects for putting the effort forth. This is really a lot on your shoulders, so thank you for doing that. Before I invite our Assistant General Manager, Devin Apadia, to come up, I'd like to take care of one little bit of housekeeping. Thank you, Altman Plants. You are very gracious to provide the centerpieces for the tables. If you have a blue dot on your name tag, on the back, I think, you get to go home with some plants today. Thank you, Jim. Okay, and to finish up with some closing remarks, Devin Apadia, our Assistant General Manager.
Wow, thank you, everybody. It's just incredible to be here with such great efficiency leaders. I want to ask you, how many of you have been in the Southern California region, say, since the 80s or early 90s? Wow, many of you. And the story that I would share is, if you recall that time period, at that time, Metropolitan was looking to the future of water reliability in Southern California. And what we were seeing in terms of projections and what would be needed was that, for example, one of our core supplies, the State Water Project that we deliver water from, we would need a 75% allocation every year from our State Water Project to meet the needs of Southern California. That's just to be in balance. And today, in order to be in balance, we only need a 30% allocation. A less than average year can produce that. And the reason is because of the success of these programs, of your efforts in becoming more efficient in Southern California, that we're able to do that. It has not been an easy task, but I want to honor that. Let's give everyone a round of applause. That's a testament to the success that we've been able to achieve, but it has not been easy. I mentioned that earlier. And those of you that lived here during that time period will recall the first efforts that we had in our efficiency programs. Some of you might remember the initial toilet programs that we ran. Those toilet programs, the outcome of those programs wasn't big, lofty goals about how we achieve more conservation efforts. It was, how do we keep people from flushing them 3 times? Because they were more efficient, but they didn't work very well. And I would submit to you that conservation in Southern California is innovation in action. It's been our partnership with utilities and with private entities to figure out this problem. We went to the drawing board. We figured out how to make toilets work well become more efficient. We got them out into the marketplace. People started buying them. We started calling for standards where those more efficient toilets would be the only thing that was available for sale in California. We've done that cycle many, many times. We focused on the high efficiency clothes washers, the low flow shower heads. Then our focus turned to the big piece of water use that we see outdoors. And we started with the turf replacement programs. And it's been a great success and a regional effort through Metropolitan in partnership with so many agencies around Southern California to piggyback on these programs. The problem is that the low-hanging fruit has been taken. Those are really big programs. And I will give credit to you all and to your staff teams and the Metropolitan staff team. One of the hardest nuts to crack was we've got a $2 trillion economy in Southern California made up of hundreds of thousands of businesses that are all using water. We didn't have a way to reach out to those businesses and say, we want you to join in this party, figure out how to become more efficient. We didn't have a program that met that need. That ultimately led to the staff team dreaming up what has become this Water Savings Incentive Program, the WSIP program. That has allowed us to engage with businesses and say, listen, we want to be more efficient. What are the ways that you could come up with reworking your system? And we'll try to provide financial support for that. And I will tell you, and the Southern California Golf folks have talked to me many times about this. Devin, you're running turf replacement programs, but what if our business depends on the turf itself? Could we become more efficient? And you see a fantastic example of that today that isn't just looking at turf replacement, but utilizing a more efficient form of turf. We couldn't sponsor that. We couldn't get that done without your help, without the focus through the Water Savings Incentive Program and a spirit of innovation. All four businesses, all four entities today embody that spirit of innovation. And what you see here today is a meshing from the Met staff of our water resources and efficiency team and our external affairs and outreach team. And the reason for that is any movement requires leaders that push the bounds in a positive way. Then we have to capture those stories and get that out to everyone else so that they can see that success and say, you know, I have a business that's very similar to that. I might want to follow in those footsteps. That's why we do this. That's why we're here honoring you. We want to thank you for your work. And let's give one last round of applause for all these great examples of efficiency in Southern California. Thank you.
Thank you, Devin. All right, that's it. We're going to wrap it up. I want to say thank you to all of our Metropolitan staff, WRM and External Affairs. Thank you to Sustento and our AV team. And thank you all for coming. This was a great day. And go out there and keep saving some water. Thank you.